sure you can see me here now. I've gone live because we just don't have the time to keep doing the videos, but we will. I'm going to definitely sit down. I'm Jo from Applewood Acres, and it's been a while since we put our last video up, but I wanted to go live, and hopefully some of you will come on and see why I've gone live. So we've got some new additions on the farm. I'm going to give you a tour around. I think it is roasting today, really warm, but I'm going to show the new additions. We sadly lost Colin, the turkey, and Gala. We had to send them to be put to sleep, kindly by the way, by the vets, purely because their legs eventually gave up on them. So we've had them since December. We've still got Blossom, and we got her some friends, so I'm going to turn you around and show you. So there's Blossom, and they're her two new friends, and they're called Popcorn and Pom Pom, and they're white silky chickens. They're very friendly as a chicken, and they're just really sweet, and we just wanted something little that was easy to look after, that would keep her company, and they really are. They're keeping her company anyway. So I'm going to take you a walk around on what we've been doing since we last spoke to you. Now these beds are doing really well. Since we last spoke to you, we've put this little bed in here. This is Dave's little bed, and in there are Brussels sprouts. So he loves Brussels sprouts at Christmas, and so he's done a bed of Brussels sprouts just for him. The garlic's doing really well. The strawberries are doing really well. They're coming up lovely, and there's some kohlrabi in there as well. That I just wanted in the gaps, because if you've got a gap, you've got to fill it. So let's have a look at the strawberries. Go along here. There's some there that maybe you can see in the sun. But they're actually doing really well. Now we thought the mice would get them, or the birds, but so far so good. You can see there's some on that one, and they're doing really lovely. I tasted them yesterday, they were really nice. Dave's still converting the little caravan, you can see there. And the big news is he's pinched my potty shed, which was the compost toilet, and he's turned it into a little gadget shed for now while he's doing other things. Anyway, so that's another story. So we've got calendula and asparagus in this no-dig bed. Ooh, let me cross over here. The reason we've done 30-inch beds is because I could step over them. Planted a rose, and these are the grapes. And they're starting to leaf up now. It's still quite early, but they're leafing up quite nicely. You can see. And then I want to walk you down. There's our wildlife pond there. We're going to leave that, and we're going to leave that till the end of this year. And we're just going to keep planting a few perennials around it, and then let it drain over the summer. And then once it's drained out fully, we are going to then refill that with fresh water, because we've got it contaminated, unfortunately. For everything you do right on a little farm, you do things wrong as well. And our pond was contaminated with some horse poop runoff that we put on the plants around, which was just one of those things. So rather than stress about it, we're just leaving it to just sit there for the summer, let the water go down naturally, and then hopefully in the winter we can clean it out and really make it good. So I wanted to bring you down to the Ruth Stout bed. Now this was something of a trial we did, and we put some onions down here, and they're growing, and we put, so I'm going to take you in because you might not be able to see from here. Ignore the bags. Potatoes came out the bags, I've got to move them. Right, I don't want to stand on these, but it's hard to see until you actually come in. Oops. I'll make sure I'm not standing on anything. But you'll see potatoes. Now we've had a really hard frost, but they've still come up and they've not been affected. So we've got the onions. I don't know if you can see them with the sun, but they're coming up fine. Potatoes coming up fine. And over this area, we just popped in as a bit of an experiment some sweet corn. So early days, but yeah, things are coming up really well. So I'll let you know what happens there. So you saw it in the baby stages. But all it is spent hay put on the ground, and that's it. We've never watered, never done anything with it bar plant the stuff, and that's it. And there's the tarp for maybe Christmas time. If we get some help, we'll put some more beds down here. We've let this grass grow here. It's probably about 1.5 foot to 2 foot tall, and that's purely for the wildlife, so that's good. And then we've mowed little pathways along so we can get from one area to another when it grows. We have planted some beds over in the cutting garden of flowers. We lost nearly all our flowers to the frost, so we had to replant, and there's more beds to go in there. Hydrangeas got walloped, but they're starting to come back now, so that's good. Let me take you up here. So it's quite busy at the moment because we're doing the caravan and stuff. We planted these plants here all along the edge of flowers. Don't know what they are. They were planted as seeds and they were bought as dahlias, but they're not dahlias. So let me go up close if anybody knows what they are. So it's a bit of a surprise. Any ideas? Let me know. I'd really like to know actually what they are. And then the little cherry got really whacked with the frost. It had loads of blossom, the frost killed everything, but you know, it's still there. And then there's some bits and bobs there, dahlias and bits and bobs underneath there. We've got some sweet peas. It's so dry here, look at the grass, it's so dry. Sweet peas are growing, another dahlia, more sweet peas. Step over here. And what we did here, we planted little lavender bushes all along, and hopefully once they're up and grown a bit bigger, we'll be doing really well. We lost all our flowers in this bed, but we've planted flowers again in here, some for cutting, some for just show. There's a bit of everything in there, and then the second bed's got cornflower in, which we'll use once that's up for salads. And then we've got our little bed, and this has got our courgettes. They're growing really, really well. We've got some echinacea in there, and then we've got on this bed here, there's 2 types of cauliflower. One type is awful, lost most of it with the frost, even with the cover on. The other type's fantastic, so we'll be taking all that out. We've got kale, kale in that one. We've got cabbage in this one, and chamomile flowers. They're doing really well. We've got onions in this bed. Now with this, I multi-sow, and then I take out the ones that are growing, so we have spring onions, and then leave one bulb left in each bit, and then they can grow on to full size onions. We've got chard in this bed, which is delicious. Been eating this. It's really nice. More onions in this bed. A little bit of salad down here. And these are our salad beds. Oops. These are our salad beds here. Now, this bed is such a shame. They're doing okay. But this bed here, it's just bolted. This week, my poor salad, this one, has just started bolting, and that means they go to flower, which is not a bad thing because I'm going to take the seeds. But this bed has had 27 harvests. Yep, 27 harvests. So pleased with it. It's a fabulous mix. Next year I'm not even going to bother with any of these other salad lettuces. I mean, they're nice, but they don't taste great. They're okay, nothing amazing. But see this bed? Amazing. It's a gourmet mix. So I'm definitely just going to grow this. But I'm sort of gutted I didn't grow more, because now I'm sort of not stuck, because I do have other lettuce, but I've got to wait for some more to grow. I did grow some and I lost it all, so I've got some more growing, but it's not going to be ready in time. So that's, you know, the joys of farming. So that's annoying. The little edges around our area look cute with all the little no dig beds, but with all the little flowers. They're all coming up really nice. Again, this little plum tree got hit by the frost, but it's doing okay. Oh, we did the worst thing ever. We put a little gazebo and table and chairs out there for when we have our lunch break. But it's so tempting just to sit there and not do any work. So, you know, be careful. So today, that's doing okay. Today I planted some larkspur over there. We planted a little twisted willow in here. Now, what we've done, we've put it in a pot with no bottom, so that when we strim, we can actually strim around without strimming the plant to death. So it's just really the side of the pot, and then the roots can go down. But it's doing really well. That only went in the other day. And then, look how dry it is. Look. So dry. Wellies are looking gorgeous. I don't know whether you saw them, they need a water. But how beautiful is that? So if you've got an old pair of wellies, don't throw them out, just plant them up. And then our alliums have come up. The bees love them. This is a little bee. It's so lovely. You know, we've only been here since October. We've put this field was just a blank field, 3 acres of nothing, and I think we've done okay so far. It's only me and Dave. We get a little bit of help by Naomi for an hour or so once a week, and all this will be beds. And we've put the 2 tunnels up. We're growing tomatoes in that tunnel, and this is what we call the nursery tunnel. So I'll just take you round. It's pretty empty now, which is amazing, because this was like, it just didn't have room not long ago. We've got, it needs a good clean. I've been sorting a few things out, so we've got lots of different plants that need to go out. It's so hot in here. If anybody knows what that is, look how tall it is. No idea. It's huge. So if you see my hand, that's how tall it is. If you know what it is, let me know, because I have no idea. And what we did is, Dave very cleverly made somewhere for the salad to dry when it's wet. Flood bench over there, just because it's quicker and easier. As I say, I've cleared most of this out now, so it's pretty empty. We've got lots of stuff here on a flood bench again, so it's much easier to water. And then we literally put this second tunnel up a couple of weeks ago. And we've got our row of tomatoes which we needed to get in, but we haven't actually done anything else to the tunnel, so this will be full of beds. And if you can see, tomatoes are doing okay. My basil's being eaten alive. These ones down here are okay. You see them there and there and there. They're okay, but as you go further up, they're just getting eaten. So I don't know. Don't know what that is. Don't know why. Maybe as they get bigger, they'll be all right. But look. See, it's not good. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. I thought the basil would be all right, but it's not. But the tomatoes are growing really well. They're all from seed, and they're doing okay. So yeah, so we've got a lot. Oh, and Dave, it's our watering system. So instead of bringing the hose all round and trying to water by hand, what we do is just top this up, and it's on a drip, and it just waters them all automatically. And then it's on a pulley system, so to fill the bucket up, I just unhook it from over there. The bucket comes down, fill it up, hook it back up, and that's it. So that's our DIY homemade watering system. And we've got, this is really cool, this one. God, Sony's clearing up this place. There's just so many jobs to do. So this is blackcurrant sage, and they have beautiful little flowers. And when you eat the flowers, they taste like blackcurrant. They sort of pop like a sweetness in your mouth. And over here I've got some sweet peas that are coming up. They're a little bit, they need watering. We've got a little aubergine that I put in 2 days ago, and it was half that size, so it's grown really well. And 2 cucumbers, well 3 cucumbers, there's a baby one there, I'm giving a chance. So that's the second tunnel. Ignore the mess in between. And this is the first tunnel we did. As I say, it's pretty empty now. Oh, and remember when we went to that greenhouse that was going to be demolished, and we chopped down that massive triffid? It was about, I don't know, must have been about 15 foot tall, might have been taller than that, and we thought it was probably killed it, it was dead, it's been in there for years. Look, it's alive. It's alive, I'm so pleased. And it has, apparently it has lots and lots of pink flowers, really, really pink flowers. It's a tropical plant. I can't remember the name offhand, but I do have a name for it somewhere. But I'd have to have a look. But anyway, it's alive and it's going. Do you know what I really, really, really like? Tree spinach. I mean, how pretty are they? And I put them in my, I put the leaves, they're edible, and I put the leaves in my salad. And especially for children, if you've got kids, and you take, let me see if I can show you. There's a bigger one. There you go. Hi Jedi Master, how are you? We're fine. So these, the tree spinach, they're edible, and if you've got children, see the pink stuff, it all comes off on, oh you can't see, but it comes off on your fingers, so they can get like pink tongues, but it's all harmless, it's all edible, and it's lovely in salads. So that's really good. So if you've got children, tree spinach. I've got too many tomatoes, don't know what to do with them. Anybody want a tomato plant? I don't know what to do with them, the millions. I just can't compost them. They're fine, but I don't know where to put them. So any ideas? I don't know. I have sold some, but you know, the markets have all stopped. We've got no markets. We were hoping to get to Ipswich on the 7th of June. They were going to let us go there. Found out today, they've decided to cancel again. So we have no outlets for sales apart from people who are local, who just come to the gate and buy a couple of salads here and there. So, I mean, we are in a fortunate position. We do have a little bit of savings that we were going to use for the barn, but obviously with COVID, we're going to have to just ride it out with that, I think. Who knows? Don't know. Being positive. Everything will be fine. It's COVID nonsense. It'll all be over very soon, I'm sure. Oops, sorry. So, and, oh, this is the other thing. So I grew too many tomatoes and I grew too many cauliflower. I've already got 2 beds of cauliflower. What on earth am I going to do with those? Don't know. Nobody seems to want cauliflower plants. Anybody want them? I don't know. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what to do with them. Got some microgreens, so there's some sunflower shoots. They're a little bit big now. There's some radish. We've got some cabbage. I have to think. I'm going mad this afternoon. And we've got some beets. Yes, we're doing all right. And then in that tray in there, I've got some sunflower and pea, and then I think the rest are all pea. So they're all ready to grow on. That's it really. Do I have asparagus? Yes, I do. At the beginning of the video, I walked past the bed and I planted it from seed, and it's doing really, really well. But we're going to have to wait 3 years before we can harvest. So yes, I do, but 3 years time. I can walk back down there if you want. There's Dave. Ollie's having a snooze. It's so hot here today, I can't tell you. We've tried, we have done stuff, we've been planting, but we've had to keep going in just to get a break, get a breather. So we're just coming back down. So I grew the asparagus from seed, but again, it's not going to be ready for harvest because it looks like this when it's babies. Oh, there's a weed. That's the only trouble, weeds come up first year. So there's the asparagus. Yeah, so we've still got lots and lots and lots to do. We have had quite a few woofers, so the volunteers offer to come and help, but they're all from abroad. Yeah, Jedi Master, I'm a little bit concerned as well. It's really hot and really sunny, so that's why we've got that shady area there. So we do a little bit, we've got sunblock on, and then we go back in. I think Dave's on a rest now, and those two little deck chairs there, they came out the old caravan, not my choice, but they're actually really comfy. What have you just found in the fridge, Dave? Let's have a look. What's that breath? It's so hot.
Stuck up the back of the fridge now.
Oh, you found a beer. Oh, and this was interesting. I grew all my dahlias from seed this year, and this one was a purple and white dahlia. It's not quite purple and white. Still really pretty though. So I've got probably about 20 dahlias, and who knows what they're going to be, because that's certainly not purple and white. So what do you think about this year so far, Dave? We started in October, this field.
Hot.
Yeah.
No, it's been alright.
It's been alright. It's been a bit of a challenge with the COVID.
Yeah.
We haven't got
Still
COVID.
not making money.
We haven't got COVID.
We haven't got COVID.
I haven't got
COVID.
I haven't got COVID. Have you got COVID, everybody? No?
Do you know anybody that's got COVID?
I don't know anybody who's got COVID.
Nor me.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So our first 6 months of farming, I say 6 months because we've been, Jedi Master said COVID is a hoax. Yeah, well if you look at X22 report and
We all know it's a hoax.
follow Q, there is a virus. I'm not saying there isn't a virus, because there is a virus, but it's not what people think, I think. That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but I haven't got COVID. And if you break your leg and you go in for a broken leg, you might get COVID. Who knows?
If you die of heart attack.
You'll be put down as COVID. Yeah. So if you look at, if you're interested in conspiracies, which we love a good conspiracy, I would go and have a look at Amazing Polly and X22 report, and who else?
In Pursuit of Truth.
In Pursuit of Truth. Oh, he's really good, yeah. So there is a virus, and unfortunately people with underlying conditions seem to be getting it. I even heard that they were putting old people back into old people's homes, which is awful. My mum's 80 something, and the thought of them putting somebody with COVID into her place terrifies me. And also, yeah, the other thing that is very, I know we're going down the COVID route, but you know, we have to ask questions. Why are they shutting all the doctors down? Yeah, you are on camera, Dave. I'm just having a conversation because we're live, and hey ho, I'm out the sun now.
And masks don't work, by the way.
Well, no. Well, they do if you're spitting and coughing over someone, I guess.
If you're in an operating
But I
room,
don't understand. The questions I've got are, why are the doctors getting shut down for speaking out? And there's plenty of them. Dr. Buttar. Oh, Money GPS is a good channel. Oh, I'll have a look at that. And Dr. Buttar is really, really good. There's a lot of doctors. There's that female doctor. Yeah, and the NHS staff have been gagged. They're not allowed to speak out. So I'm not saying there isn't a virus. There is a virus. We know that. And people
make dance routines on TikTok.
Oh, see, that winds me up, the dance routines. Why, if they're that busy, why are they doing dance routines? And my sister works in a hospital, and apart from those wards that have got the COVID, it's empty. People with cancer, see, this is where I don't get it. People with cancer, people with really, really serious issues aren't getting treatment because of this, yet the hospitals are laying off doctors. Doesn't make sense. I just think we shouldn't be shut down. We should ask the questions. And why has Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx got their hands and the financial issues in the vaccines? Isn't that a conflict of interest? And why, as Chris Whitty in this country, I read, now whether it's true or not, don't know, but I read he was getting paid by Bill Gates Foundation, 40 million or something like that. Why? So that's what, see, I don't know. It just, there's questions, and when anybody questions anything, they get shut down, and I think it's wrong, because free thinkers need answers, and I think that whether you believe the numbers or not, you should be able to talk about it. Yeah, the Italian Parliament, I saw that video where she stood up. Is that the one, Jedi? Is that the one about where she stood up and was trying to get Bill Gates arrested for crimes against humanity? Can you just confirm that's the one you're on about? because I think that was the one that I saw. But there's so much going on around the world, and it doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. And you know, it's not, I don't think, yeah, that is it, yeah. I don't think it's about, if we're talking about America, because we're in the UK, yeah, and 5G, I'm not happy with that either. However, Kafifi, which Trump spelt coffee wrong, apparently is the elements for the stuff, the metals, that help 5G become non-lethal to humans. So that's a good dig if you want to go down the rabbit hole. But anyway, so I don't understand. So this is, if you're in America, I don't think this is about Democrat or Republican anymore. This is just about the truth and right and wrong. And I think people should question. And I think if you don't question, you know, you're just following like a sheep, like everyone else. I just think that everybody, no matter who you are, just needs to question and find out, because there's so many whistleblowers, there's so many doctors trying to speak out, but they're losing their licenses. Now, we knew this before this, right, forget COVID all completely. When we went plant-based 3 years ago, the first thing you do when you go plant-based vegan, you start looking into like health documentaries and, you know, stuff like that. So we were learning, which we didn't know before, about the pharmaceutical companies shutting down doctors that were prescribing fruit and veg to their patients, because they can't patent it, so they can't make money. And I've just watched a video this morning, weirdly enough, because I was looking at a plant to grow here, a herb, and it cures malaria. And they've done so many trials and tests and stuff on this that it works, yet the WHO and the WHO stopped it because they can't make money off it. So children are dying, yet there's a cure, a natural cure, because I believe there's a natural cure for everything. There's plants out there. We have plants. God has given us these plants and medicines that we can do ourselves, and we've lost that knowledge. We've completely lost it. I've been reading books about the medicines and medicinal values of plants and how to use them. I mean, we do some things already anyway, like elderflower syrup and we do, I can't even think now, I'm having brain freeze. But we do lots of like herbal medicines and stuff ourselves anyway, more so in the winter to ward off colds. But we've sort of lost this knowledge, and I think we need to start looking back at this rather than taking vaccines. I'd love to ask you guys, how many of you would take a vaccine? Let me know. Let me know how many of you would take the vaccine. Thanks, Jedi.
This is about farming or political agenda.
Well, it's about farming and political, because we're now stopped from farming because of the political state this country and this world's in. So yes, both. And I'm having a rant.
Because Big Pharma wants to treat you, not cure you.
Yeah, well, they make more money to treat you. So if it's me, I'm not having the vaccine. They'd have to force me, which apparently they're going to do. But I don't want the vaccine. Do you want the vaccine, Dave?
No.
Did we read somewhere, or was I dreaming this? Did we read somewhere they had human embryos in the vaccines?
No, it's in the list. They have.
They have?
And there's mercury, and there's aluminium, and there's ground up animal matter, ground up, well, there's cells taken from aborted fetuses as well.
That's disgusting. So no, I won't be having the vaccine unless they absolutely force us. And even then they'd have to pin me down. But then what they'll do, you see...
I'd rather go to prison first.
Yeah, see what they'll do though, if you won't have the vaccine, I think, this is just my opinion, but I think then they'll say, well, you can't have insurance, or you can't go to the supermarket, or you can't do such and such and such. So that's where I see it going, unless a miracle happens and this New World Order rubbish stops and somebody puts an end to it. Because we need to go back to nature, we need to go back to growing medicinal plants, we need to start using stuff, we need to go back to being on the land and growing our own food, you know. So I don't know, it's a difficult one. I don't want to put anybody off anyway. Anyway, if you're thinking of doing your own market garden, do you regret it, Dave?
No, not 1 second of it.
Even though we're not making a living, and we can't. Oh, and we can't claim for anything because we're a new business, so we fall through the loophole. So we're virtually making zero, and we are still very happy. I'm really happy. So regardless of the situation here, regardless of, you know, the turn of events with the COVID, you know, things are plodding on and we're still happy. So I think that's the key, isn't it? I think you've just got to do what you love. And, you know, we make a tiny amount every week, but it feeds us, you know. So, bread and milk. The animals get fed better than us. But no, I just think, you know, you've got to do what you've got to do. So we're not going to go bankrupt. We are okay. We are okay, and we can just about manage. How long is this going to go on for? Who knows? Will we last a year without any finances coming in? Yes. Will we be able to do the barn if that's the case? Don't know. It's all the unknown. So, you know, just thought I'd come on for a chat. I know I've been waffling a bit and a little bit frustrated about the COVID, etc. Yeah, Jedi, you're thinking about giving food away as cheap as possible. We have as well. We've given, because we've had crops that were planted for the markets, and then they shut the markets down, and they were just waste. So we've given loads of food away free, but again, I've had to grow stuff to keep stuff going in case they suddenly open the markets up. Now, we got last week word that Ipswich market was going to restart on the 7th of June. So luckily I had stuff growing, and we were like, oh brilliant, you know, we'll have plenty of stuff at the stall because I'm sure everybody will want our produce. And then this morning they cancelled and it stopped again, so we have no markets, we've got no outlets. We do have a shop, local shop, that's taking some salad bags every week, but you know, again, we're scraping in. You'd think in this area loads of people would want organic produce, but it's a fine line because although I've got produce, I haven't got masses, so I have to make sure I've got enough for the shops and us, and then whatever else I get, I sort of sell to people who come to the gate. So it's a really fine line, because I don't want to grow too much and then it all go in the bin. But hopefully we'll be alright. We'll be alright. Next year, next year we'll be flying. Next year will be fine because I know exactly what this soil does. Even though we're no dig, it's so dry here. And thank heavens it's no dig, because it holds the moisture really, really well. So I know what I'm going to grow next year, and I'm really going to fine tune what we're growing, because you know what it's like. The first year you just grow everything and see what works. We know the gourmet salad grows amazing. We will be able to do like 6 beds of that and just push the gourmet salad because people love it, because it's different. You know, and cut back on all the stuff that we just don't need. We do grow little bits for us anyway, but apart from that, just mainly concentrate on salad growing. Yeah, spinach doesn't work great here this spring. It was okay until about April, which is normal, and then it, you know, flea beetle and everything, so I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, king seeds, I do get some. I mainly go to Tamar seeds for my stuff, and it's always good, it's all pretty good, it's all organic. And CNN seeds as well. Where else? Premier Seeds is where I got the gourmet salad from, and it was fantastic. Honestly, let me show you again. Hold on. But it's bolted now this week. So this was the gourmet salad mix from Premier Seeds, the organic mix. Absolutely brilliant. Highly recommended, and I will definitely be growing that again. So that's what our beds will be. Yeah, I am. That's why I've let it go. Oh, hold on, turn it back around. That's why I've let it go to seed. So I'm going to actually collect the seeds off most of these, and I will be selling it because, you know, I can get, it's just a brilliant mix. And every single one tasted lovely, like every single one. But the rest of them I'm not going to bother. But yeah, so there you go. So that's us. So I think I'm going to go because I've chatted for too long now and it's getting a bit boring. I've done my COVID rant. Dave's sitting here drinking a beer, so I might go and get a little tonic myself. I don't even know what the time is. So I will speak to you guys soon. Say goodbye, Dave, because you're on camera.
Goodbye, Dave.
Oh, very funny. That was an old one, wasn't it? So yeah, so we're getting there. We're happy. Pretty flowers. So we'll speak to you soon. So thanks for joining us today. Just a little chat and a walk around, very relaxed. I might do more of these lives, it's a bit easier. Just don't get time to put the videos together. We do have loads of stuff, but to sit down and put them together, time. You guys will know it's like, you're out here all day. I'm on YouTube, Dave. He's like, where are you live? I'm on YouTube. So anyway, so have a great day and I will speak to you soon. I think you'll be able to watch this after. I don't know. I've never done it before, so we'll speak soon. Take care, everybody. I'll see if I can turn this off. Don't know how to do it. So you might have to bear with me.